Today's video deserves a special mention to one of you, Abdullah, who's been commenting on quite a number of my videos telling me to look up this very special project in Saudi Arabia. And no, it's not the line in Neom. No, Abdullah was spotlighting a different project. One that, and I quote, contradicts Neom. See, while Neom is seen as a city of the future, AlUla is seen as a city of the past, rebuilt for the present. So I looked it up, and honestly, the landscape and rock formations in this region are quite spectacular. Like, they look like they're from out of this world. It's quite phenomenal. And do you know what else it looks like? It kind of looks like the backdrop of Arrakis in Dune, a vast desert with hidden secrets. The kind of place where you might expect someone to start whispering, "Listen, Al-Gaib!" On Google Earth, you can see that AlUla is in the northwest region of Saudi Arabia. Not too far actually from where they're building the line, which is roundabout here. And if you zoom in, you can actually already start to see the line taking shape from the construction that's going on in the region. Right, now let's zoom a little bit into AlUla. Look more closely at AlUla, and what you'll find is that this place is pretty developed. You'll also see lots of vantage viewing points. AlUla Adventure Hub, okay. Oh, that looks pretty cool. Like a zip line. Yeah. AlUla zip line, of course. And this is one of the most popular and iconic rock formations in AlUla, which is Jabal Al-Fil, or Elephant Rock, which I think is pretty self-explanatory. And one thing that I can't help but notice is that the desert landscape here looks like it's transforming. And by that, I mean nestled within all of this barren desert landscape is pockets and pockets of greenery. And I mean a lot of them. And a lot of these are, well, palm trees, palm tree plantations, parks and gardens. All of this is actually part of a wider Masterplan development project to revive a 9-kilometer stretch of the old oasis, which I'll get to later in the video. And within these pockets and pockets of greenery, you'll find a lot of these circles. And what they are is center pivot irrigation systems, which make for a very efficient way to water the farms in these desert conditions. And you'll find quite a lot of them here near Hegra. Let's look into Hegra. It's also known as Nabataean Saleh, City of Saleh, archaeological site, Saudi Arabia's first UNESCO World Heritage Site. Look at that. Also, hang on a minute, mentioned in the Qur'an, and there's also a hadith about it, warning by the Prophet. Hang on a minute, what's going on here?
AlUla.
AlUla is a historic site of Ula in the north of Saudi Arabia.
So this next part is pretty important. So the AlUla Governorate also includes a place named Hegra, or Al-Hijr. It's also known as Nabataean Saleh, which translates to the city of Saleh. And in 2008, the place became Saudi Arabia's first UNESCO World Heritage Site. And that's a big deal because it marked a turning point when the country began officially acknowledging and promoting pre-Islamic heritage. And the reason for it becoming a UNESCO World Heritage Site is because it's one of the largest preserved areas of the Nabataean civilization, who were famous for their grand tombs carved straight into sandstone cliffs. But pay attention to this. According to Islamic history, and also mentioned several times in the Holy Qur'an, Nabataean Saleh is where the land of the Thamūds used to be. They're an ancient Arab tribe described in the Holy Qur'an as a people skilled in masonry and carving homes out of mountains. And these are some of the verses where they're mentioned. However, they were punished for their continuous arrogance and numerous defiances against their prophet Saleh, peace be upon him. And you might have caught on to the fact that this is why the place is named Nabataean Saleh, after the Prophet Saleh, peace be upon him. And there is a hadith in Sahih Bukhari for when Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, passed through Nabataean Saleh, the land of the Thamūds, and warned, "Do not enter the dwelling places of these people unless you enter weeping. But if you weep not, then do not enter upon them, lest you be afflicted with what they were afflicted with." Sahih Bukhari 4702. So early Muslim scholars and later jurists took this seriously as a moral caution. Ruins of punished people are places for reflection, not rejoicing. And this is where the point of contention lies. Because on one hand, you have a religious hesitation in engaging with the site, while on the other, the region is being promoted globally as part of Vision 2030. Right, we're gonna put a pause on that and circle back to this topic at the end of the video. For now, let's take a deeper look into what Vision 2030 is and how AlUla fits into all of this. There have been developments going on in the region since the 20th century, but the progress really kickstarted in 2017 when Saudi Arabia made a big promise that they named Vision 2030. And what that is basically an initiative by the Saudi government to diversify the kingdom's economy away from oil and into other areas like renewable energy and, for the most part, tourism. And AlUla is the centerpiece of that plan because of its heritage value. So the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, or MBS, created the Royal Commission for AlUla, or RCU. Among other things, their role was to protect and preserve AlUla's archaeological treasures like Nabataean. They're also supporting ongoing archaeological digs and scientific explorations. For example, they recently discovered that there was evidence of human activity in that region dating back to over 7,000 years ago. That is a long time ago. For context, the Stonehenge in England dates back to around 5,000 years ago, and the pyramids date back to around 4,800 years ago. So yeah, that means that there was life in that region before even the pyramids. This is pretty wild. But the Commission's job was not just to preserve AlUla, it was also to promote it. Their assignment, which they accepted, was to take this vast desert area in northwest Saudi Arabia and turn it into what they now call the world's largest living museum. And they were given lots and lots of money to do just that. We're talking billions and billions of dollars in investments. The RCU have reported over $10 billion have already been pumped into the project to date. And this is expected to increase to $20 billion by 2030. It's like they have a blank check. They're building new roads and public transport, a bigger airport, eco-lodges, luxury resorts, and personally, I think one of the coolest features that they're building is a low-carbon tram that's meant to glide tourists between the different sites. And if you look up AlUla on social media today, you'll see that this place is quickly becoming a pretty significant entertainment destination. They're hosting concerts for artists like Andrea Bocelli and Alicia Keys, symphony orchestras with breathtaking sandstone backdrops, and even all-night music festivals with Berlin-based DJs kind of music. There's quite a lot of things going on here, folks. The master plan is called the Journey Through Time project. It's a 15-year blueprint to develop AlUla's core historical area. Right, let's take a look at a map of AlUla. There are 5 heritage zones linked by a 20-kilometer green spine that they actually call the Wadi of Hospitality. And Wadi translates to a seasonal river valley. And the reason why it's called the Journey Through Time, it's because it's set up in a way that takes you through the sites in chronological order, starting with the Old Town, followed by Dadan and Jabal Ikma. I want to touch on Jabal Ikma for a little bit. This place is sometimes called Saudi Arabia's open-air library. Thousands of inscriptions carved into the rocks. Back to the chronology. The next district is the Nabataean horizon, followed by Hegra, or Nabataean, the crown jewel. Alongside the Wadi of Hospitality, they're also building that really cool low-carbon tram that's going to be about 46 kilometers long, includes 17 stations, and it's going to connect the airport to the heritage districts and follow parts of the old Hijaz railway line, which was the route used by many pilgrims centuries ago. And in line with their Vision 2030 plan, the kingdom say they're also going to build 2 new solar farms by 2035 and battery hubs in both north and south of AlUla. Their goal is to achieve carbon neutrality. Any excess power from the grid here will be going back to the national central grid. Pretty exciting times here, folks. Next, we're going to take a look at the architecture itself. Here, they're using the phrase light touch. Instead of shiny glass towers, the resorts in the region are designed to almost disappear. Some are going to be carved right into the sandstone cliffs. Others will sit low to the ground in desert tones built from stone and mud, with shaded courtyards and open roofs that cool naturally at night. And the most famous of these is the Qur'an resort. designed by French architect Jean Nouvel. He studied how the Nabataeans carved their tombs into rock thousands of years ago and then reimagined that for today. Like, check it out. He's turned this concept into a luxury hotel with suites, restaurants, and a spa, and all hidden inside the cliffs. And this light touch idea goes beyond just the architecture. Remember how I brought up earlier about those pockets of greenery being part of a wider plan to revive the old oasis? So what the old oasis is an ancient wadi, a 9-kilometer stretch at the core of AlUla, which historically sustained agriculture from seasonal flows. So yeah, all that greenery that we saw on Google Earth is actually part of a bigger plan to turn this desert core into a green corridor. That is some master plan, I must say. Now let's take a look at some of the landmarks within these 5 districts. There's a building in District 4, the Nabataean Horizon, that stands out in particular. It's called Maraya Hall, and it's literally a giant mirror in the middle of the desert. The name itself, Maraya, means mirror or reflection in Arabic. And it's so big that it's in the Guinness World Records as the largest mirrored building on Earth. It has almost 10,000 square meters of glass reflecting the cliffs around it. The architect Florian Boyer of Geoforma, who is from Milan, said that the idea was to make it feel like the building disappears into nature. And it kind of does. They've installed an 800 square meter retractable window behind the stage that can be opened during the show to reveal illuminated rock formations at night. So the desert itself becomes the stage. Yeah, I'd say that's blending in for sure. And while looking at the landmarks there, I realized there's a common theme, and that is resorts popping up everywhere. Right back here, because I want to show you some of these resorts. So there's Banyan Tree, AlUla, which is a tranquil desert retreat 5-star hotel. And it's, look at that, TripAdvisor's Traveler's Choice Awards 2025, among all these other awards. It's got an infinity pool in between 2 beautiful sandstone cliffs. There's also Caravan AlUla, which is an immersive glamping experience nestled among dramatic sandstone cliffs. Gotta love the marketing here. So our Habitas, which is the brand behind Caravan AlUla, also have another luxury resort called Habitas AlUla. Right, let's check out the marketing here. So this one is a sustainable home of wonder, a unique desert retreat with dramatic landscapes, again, to inspire creative expression and the pursuit of adventure. I mean, who is writing these things? And now I'm kind of curious as to how much it's going to cost to spend the night here. Let's check it out. Ooh, can go up to 1.4k pounds. No. I mean, no, we're not gonna do it. Okay, enough resorts. Let's talk about the culture side. They've opened the Al Jadida Arts District, where you can see murals and workshops, a roller skating rink, even a cinema. And they're planning more. For instance, there are plans for a museum of the Incense Road, a contemporary art museum, and a project called Wadi Al-Fan, also known as the Valley of the Arts. And it's like an open-air contemporary art exhibition nestled in between majestic desert backdrops. In an attempt to attract more visitors, they've upgraded their airport to now take in flights from Dubai, Riyadh, Jeddah, and even Cairo. There are a lot of other things going on here, check this out. There's also triathlons, marathons. There was even a culinary voyage through AlUla's old town. I mean, the list seems pretty endless here. You have to check out their website yourself if you want to see everything going on here. And by the way, there was something that I did not expect to find. In one part of AlUla, there's a giant rock shaped exactly like fish. Locals call it the giant fish rock. Check this out. It looks like a fish. No? And what is actually so amazing about this is that this is man-made. Like, this was actually carved by wind and water years and years and years ago. So just like Elephant Rock, it's kind of a reminder that nature has been shaping this valley long before people started running marathons in it. I want to finish this video talking about the 2 sides of the AlUla project that we've touched on throughout the video, which is the religious concern on one side of the coin and the push for tourism on the other. The hadith and warnings from the Prophet, peace be upon him, were to not linger in this place and to pass through quickly, that it's a place for reflection and not enjoyment. The debate that is sparking up now is that this hadith specifically refers to Madain Saleh or Hijra, which is only one out of the 5 districts that make up AlUla. The resorts and entertainment venues are located in other districts away from Hijra. But still, some Muslims are choosing to avoid going to AlUla entirely to avoid any doubt. And on the other side, historians and conservation teams are making a different case. These tombs are soft sandstone. Wind, rain, and time are winning. Tourism, they say, brings money for guards, repairs, scans, and training. And this support is needed to keep more carvings from falling apart. Families in the area see yet another piece of the puzzle. With the new roads, they can now have shorter travel times. Their schools and clinics are better, and their shops stay open all year long, not just in the festival season. Either way, the desert is not silent anymore. It's being rewritten in stone, steel, and glass. And I think it's a story worth watching. Alright guys, if you like the video, do give it a thumbs up because it actually really helps the channel. And also shoot a comment down below about your thoughts on the AlUla project and whether you want to go, don't want to go, or have already been there. I'd be interested to hear your take. And if you want to learn a little bit more about the contradictory project Neom, which I brought up earlier in the video, you can check that out here. And if I don't see you there, I'll see you in another one. Thanks for watching.